Hey, welcome. You ever stop and wonder how money actually works? I mean, not just the earning and spending part, but how it can, grow all by itself. Well, today we're going to break down the basic rules of finance. These are the principles that secretly run everything from your rent payment all the way to building some serious wealth. Let's jump in. Okay, I know it sounds like a weird riddle, right? But believe it or not, the answer unlocks two of the most powerful ideas in all of finance. And by the end of this, you are going to see exactly how these two things, rent and a snowball, are the foundation for your entire financial life. All right, first up, let's talk about rhythm. So much of our money life happens on a predictable schedule, doesn't it? Paychecks, bills, savings, it's all a pattern. And in the world of finance, there's a special name for this kind of steady beat. It's called an annuity. And yeah, it sounds kind of technical, but I promise it's something you already deal with all the time. Think about it. Your car loan, your mortgage, even if you're just putting the same amount of money into savings every month. Anytime you've got the same amount of cash moving at the same regular interval for a set period, yep, that's an annuity. So let's make this real. Imagine you want to save up for a new laptop. You decide, okay, I'm going to put exactly $100 aside every single month for the next 5 years. See? That consistent, totally predictable stream of payments is a perfect example of an annuity in action. Now, with these regular payments, there's this one little detail that it turns out makes a huge difference. And it's all about when. When exactly does the money move? Is it at the beginning of the month or at the end? It seems like a tiny thing, but in finance, timing is everything. So it really just boils down to this. If your payment happens at the end of the period, think of a typical loan payment. That's called an ordinary annuity. But if that payment is due right at the beginning of the period, you're paying right away, that one's called an annuity due. And here's the perfect real-world example. Your rent. You pretty much always pay it on the first of the month, right? For the month you're about to live in. That is a classic annuity due. Your landlord wants that money up front, because getting money sooner is always more powerful. All right, let's shift gears to what is maybe the single most important rule of the road in finance. Before you can do any math with money, you have to understand this one simple principle about when you can, and more importantly, when you can't add it together. We've all heard this a million times, right? You can only combine things that are fundamentally the same. It sounds so obvious, but applying this exact logic is what stops people from making massive financial mistakes. And here's what that means for your money. You absolutely cannot add a dollar you have in your hand today to a dollar that someone promises to give you tomorrow. Why? Well, because of things like inflation and a potential for that dollar to be earning interest, a dollar today is simply worth more than a dollar tomorrow. They're not the same thing. They're apples and oranges. Let me show you how this plays out. Money that you get at the exact same time, you can add it up. No problem. $500 today plus $200 today equals $700. Easy. But money from different points in time, nope. $1,000 today plus the promise of $1,000 2 years from now does not equal $2,000. That future money is worth less today, so you just can't add them up like that. Okay, we've talked about payments, we've talked about rules. Now it's time for the magic. This is the big one. This is the concept that turns tiny savings into real wealth. This is the engine of financial growth. This is the snowball. Compounding is basically interest earning interest. The best way to think about it is that little snowball at the top of a huge snowy hill. As it starts to roll, it picks up more snow, right? It gets bigger. And because it's bigger, the next time it rolls over, it picks up even more snow. Your money can do the exact same thing.
So let's just watch this happen. Let's say you invest $1,000 in an account and it earns a nice steady 10% every year. So after year 1, you've earned $100 in interest. Your new total is $1,100. Simple enough. But now look what happens after year 2. Your total is $1,210. Wait a second. Where did that extra $10 come from? That little bit extra? That is the first sign of the magic of compounding.
Here's the breakdown. In that first year, your $1,000 earned you $100. Straightforward. But in the second year, the interest wasn't calculated on your original $1,000. No, it was calculated on your new total of $1,100. That's why you earned $110. That extra $10 is the key. It's interest that you earned on your previous interest. That's the snowball picking up more snow, getting bigger and faster.
And that's really it. Those are the fundamentals. Just 4 simple but incredibly powerful concepts that are the absolute foundation of all finance. Think of them as the must-have tools in your new financial toolkit.
So let's recap them real quick. You've got the annuity, that's the steady rhythm of payments. The Annuity Due, which reminds us that paying early makes a difference. The Additivity Principle, our #1 rule, only add money from the same moment in time. And finally, compounding. That's the snowball effect, the engine that truly makes your money grow.
You know, understanding these 4 ideas, it really moves you from being just a passenger in your financial life to being the one in the driver's seat. They are the building blocks for saving, for investing, for getting a loan, for building wealth, for everything. So the only question left is, now that you have the tools, what are you going to build?